Yes, absolutely. This is a very important and historic meeting. Today is taking place in the United Arab Emirates in the city of Abu Dhabi. The process is being conducted completely in a bilateral format. This is very important to mention. The Abu Dhabi, the venue has been chosen because the United Arab Emirates is a friendly country to Azerbaijan, and the choice of location is just to provide a venue for the bilateral talks without the participation of any third party. And I think that we are looking forward for a positive outcome of this meeting. You know that after the war ended between Armenia and Azerbaijan, since 2020, the parties have been conducting peace negotiations almost for 5 years, and it's high time that we have achieved finally the peace treaty, signed a peace treaty and achieved the peace. And it was Azerbaijan initially who supported and initiated the peace process. Even it was Azerbaijan who has prepared the draft agreement of the peace treaty and submitted it to Armenia. So there are very high expectations from this meeting, and the very important aspect again is that this meeting is taking place completely on a bilateral format without participation of any third party, which means that we can do it, we can achieve and we can sign the peace treaty on a bilateral format without participation of any third countries. And of course, we are not going to see any agreement, any signing of peace treaty today. But this is a very important step forward, taking parties to the final step, signing peace treaty in the coming future, of course.
Okay, so you've underlined there that it's definitely the talks have been held in a bilateral format, but how are external actors like the US and Turkey influencing or perhaps supporting these negotiations?
In terms of supporting, yes, it is possible that Turkey or the United States or any third party can support, encourage parties to sign peace treaty in the coming future. But in terms of playing a role as a mediator, it's out of question, because the latest development of the peace process between the parties has demonstrated that the best format and the best method of negotiating peace with Armenia is just on a bilateral format. You know, in spite of being subjected to occupation and being victim of this process, Azerbaijan for 30 years has always supported the peace process, and even Azerbaijan has always been a proponent of having peace process completely on a bilateral format. And now we have unique opportunity to achieve it. And I think that, again, if any third party or any mediator would like to somehow positively contribute to the process, is just they can support the process without being actively involved in the process, because we know that sometimes, unfortunately, third parties or any so-called mediators may have their hidden agenda, may have their interests in the process, which would undermine, again, the fragile process. Because in Armenia, in internal situation, you know, this is very sensitive. That's why in the region overall, we have very complicated, obstructive geopolitical situation that compels us to conduct this process on a tete-a-tete format and to sign the peace treaty as soon as possible. And I think that the good remedy of doing some misunderstandings or violations committed by the Armenia for 30 years is to sign the peace treaty would be better result, or would be better outcome for the meeting that's taking place in Abu Dhabi today.